Okay, welcome everyone. It is September 4th, 2018. This is the Stock Pick Profits Daily Live Show. We'll give everybody a chance to sign on a couple minutes here, look at the market numbers at the same time. Red day across the board. Little sell down in the beginning, but the market caught a little fire. The Dow actually went green midday, so it was kind of an interesting day. So we'll give everybody a chance to sign on here. In the meantime, we'll talk about our famous disclaimer, right? Past performance is no indicator of future performance. We are not registered investment advisors. This show should be taken for entertainment purposes only. Nothing in this show is an offer to buy or sell any security. Welcome, Jeff. Welcome. So let's go ahead and get started. Jeff's here. That's all we need. So, hey, I hope you guys had a great Labor Day weekend. It was a fantastic 3-day weekend. Hope you guys all got rested up. I'm a little under the weather today. I don't know. I picked up something yesterday, so we'll make a nice, quick show to the point. So let's get started here. So, we continue from Friday with the same Canadian trade problems. Evidently, they're back at the board, but the rhetoric has picked up again. Is there a deal? Isn't there a deal? Well, Trump came out yesterday and fired off some tweets on a Sunday yesterday or Labor Day weekend. And, a lot of it was about Canada. He feels that we don't need Canada to proceed with NAFTA. And if Canada doesn't get on board, his exact words were he is going to just get rid of NAFTA and roll with Mexico. So that throws a little monkey wrench in the market. And you can see we had a little red day there. Markets really pushed down early. The Dow was down about 156, 158 points at one point. It actually flashed green there in the afternoon, but ended up closing down, real small, not much. You really could say it's a flat day. The S&P, pretty much the same thing, down about 5 points. It was down a lot more than that during the day. The NASDAQ, it looks like, is cracking a little bit. But what's really important about this is these key levels, right? Think about it. The Dow has now lost 2,600 and is having problems recovering it. The S&P has lost 2,900 and is having problems recovering that. And the NASDAQ lost 8,100. So is this the pullback from that big run to the all-time highs? I mean, we had 4 or 5 days last week of just parabolic growth. Was it too fast, too far? We're short the Qs right now. We're short the NASDAQ. We're still in that short we set up on Friday. We're short Twitter. Twitter has their big congressional hearing with the Senate, I believe, Senate Intelligence Committee. And what they'll be doing is explaining whether they've actually been anti-conservative and things like that. Should get real interesting. So today, the written statements from all the bigwigs that are testifying, Jack Dorsey from Twitter, I forget who, the girl, Sandberg from Facebook, and Google, I think, has just chosen not to do anything. But hey, they're Google. What are you going to do? They've got all your information. But it's interesting. The statements that came out today were pretty black and white. Jack Dorsey's statement was, of course, we don't do anything against Twitter or conservatives. We don't do anything. Excuse me, I got a couple screens going here, gang. He took his usual stand, and Facebook, Sandberg, she took the same stand that they took when they went into the last congressional hearings with Mark Zuckerberg. So it might get real interesting. Look, there's a lot of bad winds brewing in this market, and we're going to talk about them right now because we don't want to make this show. We'll talk about steel at the end, Jeff. But we don't want to make this too long-winded. But look, there's some very, very bad winds brewing in the market. And that's why we reset our QQQ short. We didn't give up on the trade. The original trade expired on Friday. We missed that one. But we know it looks like there's a big pullback. Look, what was leading the market today were financials and Amazon. You saw Bank of America had a good day. One of our favorite regional banks, Huntington Bank shares, had a real good day today. XLF, which is the financial ETF, had a nice day today. It was financials pushing up the market. Well, all this time with tech leading that big rally we had the last couple of weeks, the financials weren't participating. It seems like the tables have turned. But financials alone are not enough to push this to these incredible levels above 8,100, above 2,900 on the S&P. So you have to be very careful here, and you have to be very logical. Don't get caught up emotionally because it can get really, really ugly really, really quick. And the reason is there's bad winds brewing in the market. What those bad winds are is, well, we started out the Kavanaugh hearings today, right? And it was just civil duress, disobedience right from the beginning, right? And it's just that right versus left fight has gotten so emotional that people just aren't thinking straight right now. That could get pretty ugly. What if something dramatic happens at this hearing, right? You never know. You never know when emotions are flying this high. That could absolutely happen. There's a government shutdown lingering. Still haven't seen an article about it, have you? Thank you, CNBC, for not informing your viewers. But look, Trump's big thing on this government shutdown has been what he talked about when he signed that omnibus budget, right? What did he say? Never again, and never again without wall funding. He said it straight up then in September. He did not mind shutting down the government. So, there's that brewing too. And then you kind of combine all this together, and you've got this hearings with the social media stocks, which push down social media stocks. Let's talk about some trade ideas real quick. Because like I said, we're under the weather, but I wanted to give you guys a good show. Let's talk about some trade ideas. Nike lit up social media today, right? With their Colin Kaepernick. You have to be living in a cave to have not seen this. Their Kaepernick ad, and it just, oh my goodness, the firestorm it lit. It was just so social media. That's why we don't do social media, because, oh my God, how do these people get through the day? But so evidently Nike put out an ad, and a lot of people didn't like it. They started burning Nike shoes and saying they'd never go with the brand again. Look, the brand's weak anyways. Nike, a lot of people that I know personally, and you might know some people too, and we always tell you about trading and getting to know these companies. Talk to the people that use the products. Remember when a few months back when we were doing really well on some snap trades and stuff, the way we discover that trade is we talked to the young people around, and they were talking about Snap after the Khloe Kardashian thing, right? And we made some money on that. Or you might want to look at it on Nike too. Those one trade that we looked at today that we didn't pull the trigger because we didn't want to pull the trigger yet because we still feel there's a big leg down on this market is Nike. You can get those October $80 calls for about $3 right now. If you're willing to pay a little more premium, dude, you're not even $1 out of the money on a hot stock. Look, let's be honest about this Colin Kaepernick thing. It's going to be like everything else, okay? In 2 days, it won't even be on social media, okay? There'll be something that replaced it. So if you're a Nike fan, we're taking a good look at Nike too. So you guys take a look at Nike also. Now, we had an interesting discussion with the trade team today. We were talking about what if we had a show like Jim Cramer, you know what I mean? What would be our FAANG? And guess what? We came up with it, AGA. Our FAANG is AGA, and it's all you need from the FAANG, right? Amazon, Google, and Apple. Think about it. If you're setting up a tech basket, you're a longer-term trader, you're buying to hold for a couple, 3, 4, 5 years, and you're looking for that perfect tech combination, look to AGA, okay? And remember where you heard it first, all right? That's all you need. You don't need the Netflix, okay? The Netflix is not going to do anything for you. The Facebook is not going to do anything for you. Look, Facebook and Netflix of the FAANG stocks are the weak links in the armor. Facebook's going through a lot right now. Now, they're putting out good press and they're saying the right things, but that doesn't matter, okay? They're a very ruthless company, and they have some dealings that, they manipulate, and they're talking about being the justice warriors for the internet. And that's always a very slippery slope, right? Netflix, how much more can they grow? They can't get into Asia. Their subscriber base is flat. So take them out. Get them out. No need FAANG. Go with AGA. Amazon, Google, and Apple. And I'll tell you why this is the perfect combination right now. With Amazon, you get the biggest freaking retailer on the planet, right? This is, oh my God, right? With Google, you get the biggest data miner on the planet, right? With Apple, you get the greatest hardware innovator on the planet. And guess what? With Amazon, you also get the space exploration. You know the one they always talk about at Tesla? Well, Jeff Bezos is doing the same thing. His dream as a child was to colonize a planet. And you know what? He's got the money now. So let's see how that goes. With Google, you get artificial intelligence, right? Everybody's talking about artificial intelligence. How do I invest in it? How do I get into it? By Google. right? They got the money and they've got the technology. And then with Apple, you just get innovation. You're always on the cutting edge of technology, right? And it's, look, Amazon made more dollars in revenue than Apple did, but Apple beat them in bottom line net income by almost $10 billion. So you're getting a really well company. That's all you need is the three AGA. So you guys remember that AGA. And you guys looking for trade ideas, for you guys that are members, we're going to talk about it tomorrow in the group, but for you guys that are regular viewers, take a look at Nike. I mean, this might not be the bottom though. Be careful, okay? Because this thing can go down more. That's why we didn't pull a trigger on a trade today, because it looked like it was really teetering at some points. So you guys take a look at Nike. And then, hey, real quick, let's talk about steel. Steel has been going through the trade funk. It's kind of like marijuana stocks right now. You're seeing a couple marijuana stocks, like we have a couple on our watch list, and we're seeing a couple of them. They're just starting to pop, and it looks like marijuana is about to make a big move again. So if you guys should have your marijuana plays, if you don't. But look, if you're looking for a good trade, look to the Nike, right? And also with steel, look to buy your positions in steel now. It's cheap. X is about $28. No reason not to have a nice steel exposure in your portfolio. AKS, you can get under $5. Nice steel exposure. But steel's day is about to happen. It's been very lethargic. It reminds us of what happened with banks in 2016. There was that very lethargic period, and then they just blew up that December, right? So look, guys, it's been a fantastic show. Let me just pop down to the comments in case there's any questions. Welcome to everybody that joined us today. It's always amazing to see all of you. But yeah, on that steel trade, Jeff, just stick with it. You're gonna have to play the long game with steel right now. Then when it starts making that bottom, then you can start playing your options, because you've got a convincing move and you've got a higher logic, much more logical move in the cards. Okay, so that's how we're playing steel right now too. We own a bunch of steel, US Steel X at $19. We own a bunch of options in AKS at $5. We'll buy at our time. We'll buy at our time right now. As these trade deals come to fruition, you're going to see, we've told you, a couple of things are going to happen. Steel is going to take off, financials are going to take off, and the dollar is going to crash. All right? So look, gang, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. We'll be back. Hopefully we're feeling a little bit better. I know I'm breaking a little sweat. I probably got a sheen going here. But you guys have a great day today, okay? We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us.